Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Please welcome the author and illustrator of Nothando's Journey, Jill Manley and Alyssa Casey. Ladies, thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Jill, tell us a little bit about the premise of the book, Nothando's Journey.
Well, Nothando's a little girl, and she's in Swaziland, in it's just a beautiful country and beautiful hillside, and Nothando is a little bit afraid, and she needs to go and be part of this festival. And so she's with her brother, and her brother's a little bit older and a little bit wiser, and they decide to take a journey, and on the way they meet indigenous animals from sub-Saharan Africa. And Nothando begins to realize when she's observing these animals that she has these characteristics within herself. So the idea being that as parents or caregivers or grandparents are reading this book, they can share a little bit about themselves, and then the child can feel comfortable sharing about themselves. So it's a book so we can learn about another culture, but we can also learn about ourselves. So it's this outer journey, inner journey the message I'm hoping to.
Yeah, it's a beautiful journey. And I was able to take a look at the book. Beautiful illustrations as well.
Thank you.
Alyssa, take us through that whole process of working on this book.
Great. Jill sent me photos from her time in Swaziland, and I studied those and then began to construct collages. And I've studied paper making. I began learning paper making in 2005 at Dieudonné Paper Studio in New York. And it's carried me around the world with different studies, with different masters. So I knew I wanted to bring that passion into the book. And I began thinking of the whole and then going back down to the details. So the colors have an arc from cool pink up through orange, yellow, then back to pink. Certain papers carry through. The blue marbled paper of the lion is the same marbled paper at the beginning is the same marbled paper of the irises of the lion when you see his face at the end. Same thing with the face of the baboon. The paper in his eyes is the same as the paper that goes along with Nothando kind of having her realization of who she is.
Yeah, it really captures the reader's attention. And Jill, tell us a little bit about Swaziland. You have some experience teaching there.
Yes, so I was at an elementary school called Sifanzani, and it's in the capital, Mbabane. And it's just a beautiful little country it was a long time ago that I was there, and I'd been wanting to do this book for a long time, but I was actually pregnant with my first child there and teaching 5th grade. And it just seemed like a place that a lot of people would say, where? They'd say, oh, Switzerland? And I'd be like, no, Swaziland. And they're lovely people, and it was a lovely experience, and it captured what I thought was still so genuine in the way people are able to live and interact with nature.
No, it seems like a beautiful place. Alyssa, tell us, how long did this whole process take?
The better part of a year, between going back and forth about ideas and matching images with text and revisions. And the great thing with collage is that I could sort of take the sky from one image and replace it with another paper or kind of tailor it, and so it's a very organic process.
Mm-hmm. And Jill, what about yoga? Because it plays as part of this book, it factors into this book. How and why did that inspire you to put that into the book?
There were a lot of yoga books, and a lot of yoga books for adults, and it became this kind of fitness craze. And I thought there's so much more to yoga, and even though it may be an Eastern philosophy, it isn't something that has to be limited in any way. So as though the pairing of Africa and yoga and a children's book might seem odd, when I really started to look at what I was trying to do about knowing yourself, they worked so beautifully together. So it wasn't a stretch for me.
Right. And any children's books that inspired both of you to work on this book? What can you recollect reading as children, and does that connect to this book?
For me, The Very Hungry Cat. I loved reading with my children. I have 4 kids, and they range from 26 to now the youngest is 14. And it was a special time for me always to have this time. And the more I could elicit from them a conversation, the better. And the ones that would giggle and see the images, and that's why Alyssa's images were so perfect. But for me, probably The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
Right. No, I'm very excited to show this book, Nothando's Journey, to my 2.5-year-old daughter, because she loves reading books as well. Alyssa and Jill, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
For more information about Nothando's Journey, you could log on to JillAppersonManley.com. That's JillAppersonManley.com. We'll be right back with more Bay Sunday after this break.